getting into these eyebrows because they need to be get into. They need to be got. Like when Mariah Carey said, "I'ma give it all I got." Oh, I love your smile. Hey, I love your smile. Okay, what's up, my sunshine? Well, my sunshine. Okay, what's up, my sunflowers? Which is kind of the same because sunflowers shine in the sunshine. You get where I'm going with this? Okay, so I was in prayer this morning and God said, let the people know. He didn't really say it like that. God forgive me. But he really did say, let the people know who you are. Let them know who you are. Let them see who you are. And this is me. So I titled this video, Who is she? You like it? I liked it. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about who I am when I'm not praying, because I don't evangelize all the time, and I'm not always, let's see, I'm human. That's what I'm looking for. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm human, like you. So that means that I have trials and tribulations. I have trial and error. I have testimonies to share. I have gifts within me, just like you have gifts within you. I am poetic. I am Creole. I am plus size. I am curvaceous. I am a queen. Do you understand what I mean? I am fly. I am not that guy, but I can be in between. Okay, no, seriously. So I was told while I was in prayer this morning was to share with your people who I am. Show them who I created you to be. And God did not just create me to spread the word and spread the gospel and to love his kingdom and to love everything about him, but he also put gifts within me that allows me to be who I am, which is a goofy female who can sometimes come off as very quirky and awkward at times. But in this year of 2023, we are embracing all of that. Oh yeah! We gonna be quirky. Oh yeah. Ouch. We're gonna be jokesters. That really did hurt, y'all. Oh sheesh. Wow. Wow. Yeah, and so I just want to have a little story time because I don't want my YouTube channel to just strictly be, even though I am spreading the gospel and I am telling you about God, I also want it to be authentic and I want it to be me. I want you all to see who I am. So without further ado, if you are new to my channel, welcome. You've come to the right place. If you are old and returning, thank you so much for your support. That really means a lot to me, even though I only get like 9 views of my video. I don't care, because I'm still going to keep pushing and I'm still going to keep this channel and just share with you guys how far I've come. And I want to be myself, right? Like I want to be myself. This year, I'm not holding back. If I like something and I see something, I'm going to say it. If I want to do something and I feel comfortable and I'm led by the Spirit to do it, then I'm going to do it. If I want to wear patterns that are mixed and different, I will. If I want my nails to have designs on them, if I want to just be raw and authentic and be me, if I want to wear a dress with Nikes, then I will. By the way, side note, my favorite brand is Nike. Nike. Sorry, I really like Nike. And I am a world traveler. I am an influencer. I am a spoken word artist. I am an entrepreneur. I am straight to the business. I am a sweetheart. I am beautiful inside and out. I have had a lot of things go on in my life, but it still is what made me who I am. So who is she? Who is she? Who is she? Who is she? Hello, everybody. My name is Brianna, but you can call me Bree. I go by Charismatic Creole because that is my stage name, and that is also my handles for all of my accounts. And yeah, I was born in Honolulu, Hawaii. I am not Hawaiian. My dad served in the military. Thank you so much, Pops, for your service for our country. And then I moved to a lot of different places, but I claim New Orleans, Louisiana, because that is where my mom and my daddy's from, and that is where I spent a lot of my time after I was born. We kind of moved around and bounced around a bit, but we always landed back right down to the boot, down to the boot. Down to the boot, down to the boot. And for all of my international followers who are like, what is the boot? If you look on the map of United States of America, you can see that Louisiana is in the shape of a boot. So we call it the boot. And that is where a lot of my origins come from. A lot of my cooking, a lot of my sass, my sassiness. My mom is Creole. And we'll get into that in another video because, like, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, like, I get a lot of my spiciness from my family in New Orleans. But what all started me to become who I am today was I grew up being really, really bad. If you're a family member watching this, you knew it. I was very bad growing up. I had a smart mouth. I could never yeah, I was just really smart. I was a smart aleck. I used to make adults cry. I was a fighter. Yes, me. I thought I was Muhammad Ali in the ring. I was a fighter. And I also had a lot of friends in the wrong circles. So I was hanging out with gangbangers. I was hanging out with girls that was just a little bit too fast for my pace. And it kind of distracted me. It did distract me. And it was a mess. Because I used to fight so much, and I used to have so much anger, and I didn't understand why. But I had met a guy, and I don't want to name anyone's names, just for the simple fact of, you know, just copyright purposes, or like if anybody feels like, hey, why you put me in that video? You didn't even ask me. So I just want to say I met a guy in the 6th grade, and I fell madly in love with him. And my dad found out, and my dad, and while I was falling in love, I was also falling my grades. All of my grades were failing. I was flunking in school, and my dad was like, oh, no, you don't. My dad and my mom were, at the time, abroad, because my parents have jobs abroad. And so my dad called the school, and he asked to speak to me. So I got called from the classroom and went straight to the office. And yeah, my dad was on the phone, and he was like, my dad always used to say, you acting dumber than a box of rocks. Now, to be dumber than a box of rocks, heesh, that's pretty dumb. Like, that, like, you can't do much with a box of rocks. Like, you can just watch them. So my dad used to say that to me as a child. You acting dumber than a box of rocks. You out there embarrassing me. No. And I would just be like, you know, at the time I was like, man, my dad's not even in America. I don't care about this phone call. Click. Hello. Click. And yeah, I went to my last class and decided to take a nap, and I woke up, and there my dad was in the doorway. Oh yes, he was ready. Yo, my dad was ready. He was like, yeah, get up. Yeah, you want to act dumber than a box of rocks? Oh, I got you. I was like, oh gosh, no. That whooping was like the worst whooping ever, y'all. So not only did I get a whooping, but the guy that I was dating, we had to break up because my dad was sending me to a small yet very popular in culture, rich in money, rich in soil, rich in people, to a country called Kuwait. I moved to Kuwait when I was 12. And when I moved to Kuwait, I absolutely hated it. Oh my gosh, I hated it. I swear I thought my dad was punishing me. You know, for like, I was 12 and I was heartbroken. And for the longest, I listened to Toni Braxton. Unbreak my heart, say you love me again. Undo this hurt you caused when you walked out the door and walked out of my life. A 12-year-old sitting on the computer like, uncry these tears. And it's like every time when tears came out, a tear would literally fall down. Uncry these tears. I've cried so many. And then when I heard a door in the back open, I would turn it off. I would hurry up and turn the song off, y'all. I would turn the song off like, oh God, somebody's coming. And I would be wiping my eyes, and then That and Brian McKnight. Those two artists, Tony Braxton and Brian McKnight, really did not get me through that breakup. In fact, it brought me deeper into the breakup. But to say the least, I got over it, and I was living in Kuwait, and I did not like it because I truly felt like it was a punishment, because I didn't know the language. I didn't have friends. I was still a little rough around the edges, and I was going to this school, this private school, and it turned out to just mold and shape me. In fact, one of my first Arab friends was a female, and like I said, I will not say anybody's names, but you know who you are. And this girl was amazing, okay? Like, she was amazing, y'all. She took me to the chalet, which is a beach house. She took me jet skiing, which I flew off the jet ski and almost paralyzed myself, but that's okay. God be the glory. To God be the glory. And I met all of these different people, and I started to still fight. I was still boxing and ringing around with these Arabs, and not understanding the sole purpose of why I was there. I was so angry still. But this girl kind of like brought out a feminine side of me. Like, she used to wear dresses and heels and like, and I mean like the little baby church heels, you know, oh, how you doing? Welcome to Sunday service heels. And you know, I started to embrace it, and I started to be like, okay. And then she like took me to like a fatur, which is like the breaking of the fast for Ramadan. She took me to that, and she also taught me some Arabic words, and she taught me my first Arabic song, which was لك الواوا البوسي الواوا حل الواوا صح لما بست الواوا شفتي صاري واوا بح حيفا وحبي واوا. So anyway, so yeah, she taught me a lot of stuff, and she taught me about the band Miami, the Kuwaiti band and stuff. And so anyways, just going back down that memory lane, I started to pull out a feminine side of myself, and I started to truly embrace, not to its total entirety. I still was very awkward. And, you know, when I lived in Kuwait, you know, boys were with boys, girls were with girls. And so all of the guys that I had a crush on, oh my gosh, I would like literally choke up. I had a crush on one guy. Oh my gosh. I totally loved this guy. Yo! When I saw him in the morning, my heart was in my butt, okay? My heart would go to my butt and come back up to my stomach and would never land back into its right place because I was so nervous. And every time I would talk to him, it would be like, I was so awkward. I was so awkward. And I remember for Spirit Week, we had a day called Twin Day, and I was tuning with someone, and I went up to him and I'm like, hey, good morning. And I always was just like, so like, I don't know, either out of breath when I was talking to him, or I wasn't even going nowhere. And I would be like, hey, how are you, such and such? And he'd be like, oh, hey, Bree, what's up? I'm like, nothing much. And he was like, yeah, okay. And it was Twin Day, and I was like, so who's your twin? And he was like, me, myself, and I. And I was like, oh, you're not a twin, you're a triplet. And he was like, yeah. And I was just like, my God, my foot, my whole leg was in my mouth, okay? I walked away and I said, really, a triplet? Why would you say that to him? Why would you tell him that? You're so lame. And like, y'all, growing up, I was just super awkward, and I had crushes on so many guys. And I just remember just not being able to just truly express myself because I was just like, guys, no. So my sister, I have an older sister, she would always have to go and talk to guys for me. Like, she would be like, hey, my sister likes you. And they would be like, really? Like, why she don't come over here? And I'm just like, even worse. Like, you know. But they would still give me their number because they would see that I was cute. Well, she's pretty. But yeah, I suffered a lot of, I guess you can say, social anxiety growing up, because I just always felt like I was outspoken and I was very boisterous, but I was still very shy, and I was still very nervous, and I was still very like, did I say the right thing? Oh my God, I'm around these people. What do I say? Goodness gracious me, get it out already. But yeah, like I found myself in like my power when I was in Kuwait, and I started to, you know, embrace that side of me, and I began to run for student government and I won president, which was like the first time ever that a woman has won at that school, let alone an African American woman. So that was just like amazing. And so then I graduated, and I'm kind of speeding up the story because I don't want this video to be too long. But I graduated, and I ended up going to Texas Southern University in Houston, Texas. Go Tigers. But I did not graduate from there. I didn't finish. In fact, I transferred. But while I was there, I met a guy, and he was my first incident. I would like to call him that. My first incident. Case closed. And like, you know, because I didn't really know who I was, you know, I didn't understand who God called me to be. I allowed him to dictate a lot of the things that I wore, a lot of the nail colors, a lot of the hairstyles. And that was just like I just spiraled down into this, like, this toxic place of not knowing who I was, and not understanding my worth. And, you know, I just said to myself after the fact, you know, I while I was at that school, I did a pageant, and I did a Q pageant, the Q pageant, and it truly, truly, truly blessed me. And I'm going to say why doing the Q pageant blessed me. It allowed me to not only wear a bathing suit in front of people, but it also expanded my confidence a little bit more. Like, I didn't really know a lot of people at that school. I spoke to everybody, but I didn't really know them, and they didn't really know me. And at the time, the guys that did the Q pageant were a part of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. There were some gentlemen, and they actually like pulled a lot of gifts out of the girls. And I don't think they realized that. Like, I don't think they understood what they were doing for those girls on that stage, or just being involved with them. And I say this very, very, like, with all sincerity, like, I look back on those times with those guys and how they, like, never judged the girls. They never made the girls feel fat. They never made the girls feel like, oh my gosh, should we be doing this? Like, they all were, and like I said, I won't say any names, but they truly, truly, truly allowed each of those girls to feel worthy on that stage. Like, now that I'm actually like sitting here and talking about it, they truly made us feel worthy, because if they didn't, then I don't think none of the girls would have went through with it. But they looked at our talents and they said, okay, maybe you could tweak this a bit. They looked at our speeches. Okay, maybe you could tweak this a bit. And they stayed after hours and truly poured into all of the girls that were trying to do the show. Now, did I win anything? No, I didn't. But I won confidence. I did. I won a lot of confidence. And at the time, I was still with that incident of mine. You know, we was trying to close that case, and it was still open. And I eventually broke up with him. And then after I broke up with him, I still was trying to figure out who I was. I still was trying to see who I was, because he had tore so many layers of me that I could not truly embrace who I was. Like, I didn't understand my style. I didn't understand my quirkiness. I didn't understand any of it. And so it allowed me to kind of go into this sunken place of not knowing who I was, and not wanting to look at myself in the mirror, and not, you know, a lot of my friends before I moved, because I did do a big move, I'll tell you about that next. A lot of my friends, they didn't know that I was going through that. They didn't know that I was, like, truly not knowing who I was as a person. And yeah, so then later on, my parents got into this really bad divorce, and then that just kind of catapulted me of not knowing what I wanted in a man anymore, not knowing what I want out of life anymore, not knowing what I wanted from God, and how could he have done that to us. And I started to question and not like God, to be honest with you. I started to be like, you know what, Lord, you tripping in heaven. Like, I don't know what you're doing up there, but it's like, it's not what I thought it was going to be. It's just not. And I grew up knowing God. I grew up with a praying grandmother. Oh my gosh, she prayed so much. And she taught me a lot. And I don't call her my grandma, I call her my mama. My mama taught me a lot about the spiritual realm, and about, you know, the love of Christ. And just, you know, I thought she was crazy, but she was on to something. You know, she was truly on to something. And I had to leave America after my parents got that divorce. They were together for 26 years. After they got divorced, I had to leave. And when I left, I moved to China. Everybody wants kung fu fighting. Those guys are fast as lightning. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, no, seriously. That was like the best decision that I have ever made in my life. And I'm going to tell you why. When I got to China, I was still broken. I was overweight. I was just obese. And I was just sunken in my mess. And I would cry every single night. Oh, gosh. I cried every night because I didn't have a home to go back to because my parents had sold their house. I said I wasn't going to cry when I did this video. I told God, let me be raw and not cry. Because yeah, I don't want to, but I didn't have a home when I came back. When I left, my parents sold the house, and I was so hurt. And I started to use men because I wanted to get back at them, or what my dad did. I wanted to hurt. I wanted them to feel like how I felt. I felt so much pain. And I wanted them to feel that pain. I wanted them to I wanted revenge. And I wanted it now. I wanted, what I would do was, since I'm poetic, I would find, and it wasn't even me, it was the spirit that was on me, would find ways to connect to a man, and I would see where he was broken at, and I would use that brokenness and pour into that brokenness. And then when I saw that he was okay, I would just kind of, okay, what do you want? Like, no, I don't want to talk to you anymore. And it was really mean, you know, it was really mean. And it wasn't until I was talking to this one guy who like told me, you are such a heartbreaker and you have a beautiful face, but inside is just so black. And when he said that, I literally was like, what? I had never had anybody call me that before. It's like a wake-up call. And I realized that is not right, what you're doing. What you're doing is not right. But along the lines of me being in China, I found out who I was as a woman. I rededicated my life to Christ. Praise the Lord. And I asked God for forgiveness for every person that I hurt, every guy that I hurt, every guy that I said something mean to, every guy that I ever like disrespected their manhood, you know, just brought them down with me. Because misery loves company, and I needed all the company I could get at the time. And I couldn't be alone. And I was just so mean. And so I changed my ways for the better. And I rediscovered who I was. I rediscovered myself and my style, which is why I like to dress up. I rediscovered myself with my humor, which is why I'm not afraid to be goofy. I rediscovered myself with my hair, which is why I could wear a twist out and, you know, a wash and go and have twist on camera and not care. I rediscovered myself with no makeup. Today is different because I just felt good. But you know, even when I don't feel good, I still don't wear makeup because I know I have beautiful skin. I rediscovered myself in my voice because for the longest I used to say, oh my gosh, my voice is too deep. And who's going to want a girl that has a deep voice like this? Because every country that I moved to, all the girls were very high pitched and mine was always low and just raspy. And so I rediscovered that my voice is beautiful. I rediscovered my poetic side in China because I never used to share my poetry, but now I can get on camera and share my poetry because love is an entity that I choose to give to you. I give you this entity so that you are full and brand new. I'm not ashamed to share who I am. And I'm not, sorry guys, I'm in the car. That's clearly right. I'm not ashamed to share my story because I'm sure it's going to motivate others. I'm not ashamed of being a gift that keeps giving because within me and within you are several gifts that people might not see at the time. But once God opens up their eyes, they'll truly see that you have a gift and you have things within you. And I promise you, this is just the Holy Spirit speaking because I wasn't going to talk on this at all, but I feel the need to say that you behind that camera, there's something greater for you. There's something greater for you. Yeah, it might not look good right now. It might not be good right now, but it's going to get better. It's going to get better. And like Mariah Carey, you got to give it all you got. You know, and I rediscovered that I don't need to be with a man to feel complete. I don't need to be with a man to feel complete. Let me say that again. I don't need to be with a man to feel complete. that when that guy comes, that right guy comes, I'm already complete. I'm already complete. We're just adding to each other. We're just adding to each other. We're just adding. We're just adding joy. We're just adding it because you already have it. You're already self-sustainable. And you're not really self-sustainable, but you're sustainable within God. And so we come together as a team, leaning on God. Leaning on his purpose, on his will, on whatever it is he has for you. And trust in him. So who is she? Who is she? She's me. She's quirky. Her eyesight is horrible. All of the glasses that I wear are prescribed. She has style. She has poise. She's spontaneous. She's not shy. She's a lover. She's a fighter. She's courageous. She prays. She talks to God. She loves people. She loves people through their wounds, through their sin. She doesn't drink anymore. She doesn't need alcohol to feel better in the room. She doesn't need a man to complete her. She'll get one day, but she doesn't need it right now. And if it is right now, then it's because God says she needs it. She's rich in the spirit. She's rich in money. She's wealthy. She's protected. She's loved. She's poetic. She has tenacity. She's not an argumentative person. She respects a man. She stands in her place. She gets behind God and lets her lead her footsteps. That girl, that she, that specimen, that human being, that she, that's me. That's me. And it's only going to get better from here. And so I just wanted to come on here and share a little bit about me. And what you're getting into when you watch these videos, you know? It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot that I'm sharing, and it's a lot that I'm being vulnerable about. I was very nervous of starting my YouTube channel. It took me like years to do this. But God said, do it. Just do it. What are you waiting on? People are waiting to see this. People are waiting to hear your story. People are waiting to see your quirkiness on that camera, that goofiness. Go, you go, girl. They wait to see that. And so, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really do plan to share a lot more about who I am. Vlogging, my personality, and just showing you little clips of me. Little bloopers and stuff like that, because I feel like that is rawness. That is really being real. Yeah. I don't know if I missed out anything. I think that's it. That's all I got. I gave it all I got. So, if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. Send it to somebody who might want to hear a little bit about somebody, or someone that you, when you see me, you say, man, you remind me of this person. You remind me of that person. Send it to that person. Let them be blessed, and let them know that they can be themselves. Stop hiding behind the door, bro. Just come on out, man, and show the people who you are, bro. Nobody cares. Just do what you gotta do, bro. Like, it's okay. You got it, man. You can just go ahead and do it. Get yourself out there and get yourself rootin' tootin' and getting on the camera. So yeah, like I said, this is me. I'm not hiding my personality anymore. Ugh, who does that? That's ghetto. Yeah. So welcome to my world. Favorite flower is a sunflower, which is why you guys are my sunflowers. Ah! Okay, I'm about to go now. So, we're over and out, bro. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please like, comment, subscribe. Share it with another friend, and 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 another friend. And another friend, and another friend. And okay, seriously. But yeah, who is she? She is me. Bye, guys.